Dear students, we are revising the syllabus of Optical Fiber Communication DET 3202. We have checked the first chapter, second chapter we revised, and now we are starting the third chapter. As we have already covered all these three chapters discussed in detail in the conventional classes before lockdown, and we have solved the problems, we have the problem solving sessions in the tutorials, we have submitted the assignments regularly. Let us check revise the chapter 3. Course outcomes. Course is Optical Fiber Communication course code DET 3202. Course outcomes. First is the student will be able to understand the different communication media, various blocks and applications of optical fiber communication. The student will be able to understand optical rules and measure the optical fiber cable parameters. Student will be able to identify suitable optical source for a given application. Student will be able to identify suitable detector for the given application. Student will be able to identify suitable connectors and measure the losses in the optical fiber cable. Student will be able to understand architecture of the optical network for a given application. For optical fiber communication, in this chapter we are discussing the sources, optical sources. Let us check the characteristic of optical sources. For that, first we have to check the types of the sources. The different types, all the types of the sources contains the wideband or continuous spectra sources, which has all the frequency mixing of the wide spectrum of the frequencies or wavelengths. For example, incandescent lamp, monochromatic incoherent sources, light emitting diode or LEDs. Here monochromatic means single chrome, single color, single wavelength, single frequency. Incoherent means the one or two frequencies where whatever the frequency is present, those are not in phase. These are incoherent. Third is monochromatic coherent sources. That means single frequency or very small number of frequency, and coherent means whatever the frequency, 2, 3, 4 frequencies are there, 10 frequencies, all those are in phase. Example is laser. So these type of the sources are there. Out of these, LED and lasers are useful in the optical fiber communication. How the source should be for the optical fiber communications? That means the major requirements of the optical sources. Number one, size and configuration is to be compatible with the launching light, and light output be highly directional. As we know, the optical fiber is very hair-like thin in the scale of micrometer or less. Very highly directional ray is to be there, and the size of the source should be compatible to that micrometer scale. Second, it must accurately track the electrical input signal to minimize the distortion noise. First, that the source should be linear. So if the source is linear, whatever the input is there, proportional output will be produced. So if it is proportional, linear proportional, then it will track accurately whatever the signal, accordingly it will give the output, electrical to optical output. Number 3, it should emit the light at wavelengths where the fiber has low losses and the low dispersion, and at which the detectors are efficient. That means fiber should have minimum losses and dispersion, and that wavelength source should emit the light. So it should be matched to the fiber characteristics as well as detectors. Detectors should be efficient at that wavelength. Number 4, preferably capable of simple signal modulation over the wide bandwidth, extending from audio frequencies to beyond gigahertz. So light modulation should be simple, and it should have sufficient bandwidth, and it can modulate audio frequency up to gigahertz frequency. So this is fourth. Fifth, it must couple sufficient optical power to overcome attenuation in the fiber and connector losses, and receive the adequate power to drive the detector. So source should couple sufficiently large amount of the power so that it can overcome the attenuation in the fiber, attenuation in the connector, and the sufficiently power or adequate power is received at the detector to drive the detector. Number 6, it should have very narrow spectral bandwidth. Spectral bandwidth, it is called line width, in order to minimize the dispersion in the fiber. So it should have very small line width or bandwidth. So narrow spectral bandwidth. It should emit ideally single frequency. Practically it is not possible, so it emits small number of frequencies, that is narrow spectral bandwidth. Number 7 number must be capable of maintaining a stable optical output unaffected by changes in the ambient conditions. For example, temperature. It should maintain a stable optical output even though the temperature varies. Number 8, it is to be comparatively cheap and highly reliable in order to compete with the conventional transmission technique. It should have cost effectiveness and it should be reliable. It will work with guarantee for long time. So these are the requirements that source should fulfill. Then how it works, principle of working of optical source. So before that we have to check what is photon. We know photon is the unit of the energy, light energy. So photon is a discrete packet of the energy of quantum. So photon is discrete packets of energy of the quantum. So it is a bundle of energy. The interaction of light with matter takes place in photons, in the form of photons. So photon will be absorbed, photon will be emitted. This interaction is taken place by the matter with the energy, light. Quantum theory says that an atom exists only in certain discrete energy states. So atoms will have certain fixed discrete energy levels, and that will be possible only for the atoms to have those only energies. In between energies are not possible. So discrete energy states only are possible. Then absorption and emission of light causes atom to make a transition from discrete energy state to another state. So one state to another state, transition of the atom state is possible with the help of either lower to upper transition with the absorption of the photon and upper to lower transition with the emission of the photon. So this is about the photon and its interaction with the matter. Same is depicted in this diagram. So how the optical source works is explained with the energy state diagram. Here three different phenomena, processes are shown with the photon with the interaction of the matter. First is absorption, second is spontaneous emission, third is stimulated emission. Absorption means whenever there are two energy levels, E1 and E2, possible for particular material matter. If the atom state is at E1, charged particle is at E1, and the photon is get absorbed into the matter, then that charged particle acquires that energy and have the transition from E1 to E2. So this is the transition. This is the initial state, and after transition it becomes the final state like this. So E1 energy level to E2 energy level. This is absorption of photon. This is found in the detectors. Second and third are emissions. One is spontaneous emission, third one is stimulated emission. Whenever the initial condition, the atom state is higher energy level, electron or charged particle is at higher energy level, that is E2, and it transits from E2 to E1 like this. Then in this transition, final state will be lower energy level for the charged particle, and in that process it emits one photon. This is called spontaneous emission because it happens spontaneously and randomly. Third is stimulated emission. In stimulated emission, the external photon is acting as a stimulus to the transition of charged particles of upper higher energy level to the lower energy level. This transition emits one more photon, and the stimulating photon and the emitted photon goes in phase with each other. So it is amplifying one photon to other, one more photon. So it is called amplification effect. Stimulated emission amplification effect. So it is observed in the laser, whereas spontaneous emission is observed majorly in the LED, light emitting diode. Then principle of working, in which we check the absorption and emission of radiation. With that, we have seen the frequency of the absorbed or emitted radiation, F, can be related to the difference in the energy E. How it is related? As we know, this transition of absorption and emission is having E1 to E2 transition, either E1 to E2 or E2 to E1. Either in case of absorption, E1 to E2 transition; in case of emission, E2 to E1 transition. So this transition either absorbs the energy E2 minus E1 or emits it. So this is band gap energy. So this energy we can relate as with the frequency, with the equation. The difference of energy E between higher energy state E2 and lower energy state E1 is E is equal to E2 minus E1 is H into F, where H is the Planck's constant. H is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joules second. F is the frequency. So we can substitute F also, as we know C is equal to F into lambda. C is the velocity of light, lambda is the wavelength. So in the absorption of the light photon, two energy states are there, E1 and E2. Upper one is E1, lower one is E2. When photon of energy E2 minus E1, that is band gap energy incident on the atom, it goes into atom goes into higher energy state E2, or the charged particle goes in the atom goes from E1 to E2 through absorption of the photon. This process is absorption. Emission of the radiation of the photon or light. Consider again two energy state levels. Atom. Initially, if the atom state is higher energy state E2, that is the charged particle is at a higher energy state E2, and it can make the transition to the lower energy state E1, providing the emission of the photon, that is difference energy is gives out at the frequency F. Then this energy given out, photon given out, is E2 minus E1 gap energy, and it is related as H into F. So it has two phenomena in the emission. One is light emission by spontaneous process, and other is stimulated process for LED and laser. So these are the two light emission types. For this, we have reference Optical Fiber Communication Principles and Practice, John M. Senior, assisted by M. Yusuf Jumro, Prentice Hall, 3rd edition, 2009. Thank you. Be at home, be healthy, be safe.